Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, there's lots of news surrounding Bitcoin. So we're going to dig into that. If you enjoyed today's video, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Right, let's get down to the desktop. Okay, so we're going to start on coin market cap. Now, the total market cap for crypto is down 0.86% at the time of recording at $883 billion. And Bitcoin is hovering at just over $19,500, down 1% at the time of recording. So, again, we had that sort of, short-lived pump. I did say yesterday that I expected it to be short-lived, and that is what we've seen. Do jump in our Discord. Link is in the description. We have a fantastic community, and that is where we talk about crypto an awful lot outside of the YouTube videos. Now, Bitcoin faces fresh pressure, and this is the main reason why we're suffering like we are, and we've had this pullback because the US dollar has skyrocketed, right? And that's crushing gold and risk assets. Now, I have talked many times about risk assets, the fact that we've got lots of institutional money in the space now, right? And this was what we were hoping we would see. But, ultimately with this comes the scenario of risk assets and the fact that those risk assets are the first to get sold off. So we are seeing this alongside some of the volatility with, some of these lending platforms having to, get rid of some of their assets on the cheap. Ultimately, that in combination with the financial landscape and all, this isn't just a crypto thing, where the markets are all pulling back. This is a financial markets, the whole financial set of markets, like everywhere, is suffering. So ultimately, I do think that we're getting closer to the bottom. We're not there just yet. Now, there will be people that saw the pumps and were perhaps FOMOing in. We were warning against that in our Discord, and that's why it's worth being in there. We got a fantastic team looking at all the technical analysis and all that sort of stuff. So you make sure that you're utilizing the tools that are out there to support you in making you decisions around, whether it's a good time or a bad time to invest. It's definitely worth looking and utilizing these tools. So look, at the moment, it's a volatile market. I expect it to continue to be volatile for some time just yet, but we're still expecting lower prices. So, just stick with us. Make sure that you're keeping yourself engaged, because you're going to want to know, when we think the bottom's actually come in. But at the moment, contrary to what many are saying, the bottom isn't in as far as I'm concerned. We'll see whether we're right or we're wrong, as time goes on. The Bank of England has come out, and basically what they're saying is, the crypto crash, which has wiped off about $2 billion worth of, value off of the crypto market, is a sign that it needs, much tougher rules or regulations. And you can't disagree with that. But I do think that there's lots of institutions that are doing something very similar to what happened, back in the 90s. So what I would say is a lot of people in this space, lots of influencers, they haven't got, vast amounts of actual, experience in financial markets, right? Regardless of whether it's crypto or other financial markets, right? There's a lot that are trying to learn, and they weren't about in the 90s, for example. Most of them weren't even born. So the way I see it is, look, there was lots of people that were in stocks, and were told that actually it was a bad investment when they had sort of a pullback or a recession and that side of things, and ultimately they sold off, and the people buying were the institutions. And I think we're seeing that again here with the crypto market. It's really quite obvious. You just flick on the news when it comes to the US, because we don't get much crypto related news in the UK just yet, not like in the US. And you can see people talking about, the fact that, crypto is a terrible, investment, and this, that, the other, NFTs being mentioned and so forth. But ultimately, this seems to I guess people are gravitating away from the fact that this is in several different markets. It isn't just a crypto related phenomenon, right? You're seeing the stock market crash just as much, if not as worse for some stocks, in comparison to crypto. So they're using the same sort of tricks and narrative in order to get people, and when I say people, retail investors, to sell their crypto. So for me, it's one to be aware of what is actually happening in the space. Now I will link these articles in our Discord, so do check out the Discord. The other thing to bring up as well is just the fact that Meta dumps its crypto wallet after less than a year. Now I wonder why they're doing this. I know from firsthand that Meta is still deeply involved in gaming and metaverse aspect of cryptocurrency, right? They've purchased an awful lot of gaming studios. We know quite a few people that work in several of them. So look, I think it's one to be wary of. I don't think this means that they're moving away from crypto. I think the wallet aspect of things is probably something that just isn't, the value isn't there perhaps. So I could see that happening. Moving on, and we've got ARK Investments neutral to positive on Bitcoin price as analysis awaits capitulation. So the bearish scenario goes on, but actually the indicators are suggesting that the bottom is not in just yet. And you can look at several different indicators. Some will indicate that the bottom's already in, others will indicate that it's not. And ultimately I kind of feel like a lot of these models and stuff that people cover off on YouTube and on Twitter, and I think some people have been in some of these off really early. I think the financial landscape, the macro environment is unusual. It's something that we haven't seen, and we don't see that often, right? So I think that the models are probably accurate. I think it's the financial and macro landscape that is different to what supports the models, if that makes sense. So I think people shouldn't be binning off some of these models just yet. I think it could just be a case that we come outside of some of these models and then shift back in, and actually the recession might not be as long and as drawn out as people are making out. But ultimately I do think that we are seeing probably the biggest shift in generational level wealth right in front of our eyes. So for me, maybe not hodl as such, but definitely look to make the most and stay engaged in this space. It does remind me very much of like the .com era. Again, it's the fastest I guess adoption of any technology in history, and I think that that's a powerful thing to be saying. Crypto is definitely going to be here to stay. You can see this with the digital currencies that the governments are looking to put out. We can see this with the adoption by the number of wallets that are holding different levels of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. This isn't going away. However, I would say that we've got to be careful in how we navigate the space. I think we've got to make sure that we actually understand the risks that we each as individuals and investors hold. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. It's just my opinion. You should treat it as educational purposes only. But, I would say have good risk management. But before you can have good risk management, I think you need to understand what those risks are. Be it, do you understand stable coins? Do you understand the assets in which you're invested in? Do you understand what risks are associated with those? Do you understand the risks of the wallet that you're holding that cryptocurrency on, or that stable coin on? Do you know the risk of the exchange, the lending platform, all of these different risks? And then you probably just need to work out, once you understand all of those different risks that you actually hold as an individual, you probably just need to then a plan, a risk management plan that suits your risk tolerances. And I think that's really important. I know I keep banging on about it, but I think these are things that I think are really important to do. jump in our Discord, ask questions. We've got a fantastic community of over 3,500 people talking about crypto 24/7. We'd love to have you there, and utilize the tools that are available. Now, if you enjoyed today's video and you thought it was useful, mash up that like button. We really do appreciate it. Helps push out the content to like-minded individuals. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.